Well, hello. I want to welcome you to another fountain pen review. This time I'll be reviewing the Pilot Fermo. Now, the Pilot Fermo is, whoa, weird looking. Well, what this is, it's another retractable pen, a lot like the Pilot Vanishing Point or the Pilot Decimo. Now, I don't own a Decimo, and I really need to turn down the exposure there. There we go. I don't own a Decimo. I own a Fermo and a Vanishing Point. But the inside works are basically the same as a vanishing point. The difference is the vanishing point goes with a little clicky button. The Fermo, we twist this knob here and out comes the nib. So the same, only different. So different method of retracting. So let's open up the Decimo, take a look inside. So exact same guts as the Decimo or the vanishing point. I happen to have a fine nib in this one. I could right now switch it with that vanishing point, which is a medium, but since that one's not inked up and this one is, we'll go with this one, won't we? Alrighty. So how does it, the wheel, if we can turn it, it's almost a full turn. I'm going because there's a little mark right there. It is just about a full 360-degree turn to bring out the nib. So the reason I bring that up, it makes it very difficult for me just to hold it in my hand and pop it out like this. Vanishing point, yes I can. Now there is another retractable pen on the market, the Lamy Dialogue 3, which is on my list of pens I want to buy really, really soon. I don't know how that one compares, but I know that one's another twist mechanism. All right, so if we take a look at this, okay, what you have is a little hole. Inside is a trap door. I will try and do a microscope view of that, because this is horrible. And the door retracts and the nib pops out. So let's try this. Let's try laying it on its side and see if I can do a better job. Get it back to where it's in focus. Get a little light in there. There, you can see the door slide back. And out comes the nib. The refill in this is a regular Con 40 or Con 50 converter. You know, nothing special. So the pen is a Pilot Fermo. I keep wanting to call it a Decimo, but that's not what it is. The ink I have in it is regular standard platinum black. That's an ink that I am trying out as a potential black ink. It's not a bad color. I don't know if it's in the running, but you know, it's not bad as a black ink goes. As far as flexibility, this is a gold nib, although it doesn't look like it because it's plated with something. Don't expect huge amounts of line variation out of it. Expect a little bit, but you push it too far and just like any pen like this, boing, and you're done. All right, so wetness and flow. Get a little closer for this test. This depends a bit on the ink, of course. I had some organic Studio Gregor Mendel in this pen earlier. I was going to actually film this review a few weeks ago with that ink. And whoa, baby! That was a skippy, dry, horrible experience. So I haven't yet tried that ink in any other pen. So I don't know if it's the ink or the combination of the ink and the pen. I don't know. But I was very disappointed. But not bad. I mean, for a fine nib, that's what I want. And I bought this as a potential daily, not daily writer to replace the Lamy 2000, but to fill that role possibly. So wetness and flow, we'll do a quick smear test. This is a new ink to me. This is the only pen I've ever used it in, so I don't really have a good feel for this ink. But it does seem to lay down some ink. And reverse writing, which is almost always a surprise to me when I film these. and this is no exception. I definitely call that extra fine. So before I do my writing sample, I want to address one of the elephants in the room. When you hold this, you have to have your fingers around this clip. Otherwise, it's really awkward and uncomfortable. So you're pretty much forced into holding it exactly one way. The clip doesn't bother me per se. You know, I kind of wish it was somewhere else, but it is what it is. Now, I'm going to bring back the vanishing point and pull back a little so I can do my writing sample down in just a minute. You'll notice that the vanishing point, lengthwise, pretty much the same. The vanishing point is a little bit bigger around than the Fermo. What I am told is that the Fermo is more the size of a Decimo. If that's the case, I think I would prefer the Decimo over the vanishing point. You know, I just felt, because of the shape of this pen, a little bit smaller would have been nicer. So if I ever buy another pen like this, which I don't know what I would, but if I do, it'll be a Decimo. It's probably why I'm so fixated on it. But anyway, the point is, they are basically the same pen as far as nib and guts and so on. The difference is the size of the body and the fact that this one is twist mechanism instead of a click mechanism. But if you're bothered by that sort of thing, could get annoying after a while at a meeting or something, or somewhere quiet. But I can operate that one-handed. This guy I can't. I need two hands. So I'm going to quote, who am I going to quote? Let's go with Michelle Thaler. All right, so dial up the exposure a bit just for fun. So would I buy this pen again? If I lost this, probably not. I don't mind it. It's more comfortable, like I said, than the vanishing point. What I'd really like to do is mix the vanishing point mechanism with this, which is what the Pilot Decimo does. I like the idea of it. And also, it's worth pointing out that look how it started right up. And yet, I have not written with this pen in a little over a week because I've got like 3 pens with black ink in them right now. And yeah, I just keep forgetting about it. Because it's not a real exciting pen. Not a bad pen. Writes perfectly fine. In fact, I almost prefer the writing with this one over the vanishing point. Even though this is a finer nib. But this requires too much turning to do it one-handed, and that's probably my main objection. Size and everything else, I like it. It is a good pen. So, and I got it at a pretty decent price. You know, they're not cheap pens like a Lamy Safari or something, but they are decent pens. So if you're looking for a retractable pen, the scary price of the Lamy Dialogue 3 scares you off, and you want one with a twist mechanism, there you go, Pilot Fermo. So I hope it was interesting, hope it was useful. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.